bunnies and babies. What's not to like? For those of you who don't know us yet, we are Carol and Ken, and we like touring in our little red camper, tiny Nissan MV200 built by Sussex Camper Vans. We offer tips and tricks for how to survive in such a tiny van, and also try and demonstrate just how easy it is to wild camp. Well, it was a peaceful night. We didn't get any knocks on the door. So there were 3 vans here last night, and this silver van, the people in there were the ones that got challenged by the dog walker. Carol's still fast asleep, but as I'm now wide awake, I think I'll do a little bit of editing. I quite like editing first thing in the morning. We got here a little bit late for this park up last night, and we had no choice but to park nose down, and it's surprising how hard it is when you're moving about in the van to move uphill,
especially getting up off that seat.
Yeah,
when you're in the driver's seat to come up to the back of
it's
the van.
weird, isn't it? Because
we're not
I suppose the back of the van is only sort of 4 or 5 inches higher than the front, but enough make a difference. Right, we're ready to leave here, so I'm not going to start the engine because we're next to people. So let's just see if we can freewheel a bit. Now, if you don't know what to expect, be very, very careful of doing this, because you won't have any power steering and the vacuum on your brakes will soon give out, and you'll have to use a lot more force than you would expect to stop the car. Okay, that'll do.
So we don't meet a farmer coming to get his cows.
It's just tempting fate, that is. I'm only joking. I'm not a superstitious person.
Clearly.
So we're heading down to Moelfre now for a little walk along the coast.
Ways to come early. First one's in the car park.
Displayed. Where's the flattest one? I think this one on the end. When you've got a camper van, you become obsessed with how flat a parking space is. Doesn't look like the pub does breakfasts. There's a little river here that runs between the houses and out to the sea. I assume these birds prefer to wash in fresh water. One solitary flower clinging just above the waterline. When you're in a van, you tend to sit down a lot, so it's good to stretch your legs as often as you can. Okay, let's go. Not really sure what these pots are for. Seem to have very small openings. Nice vantage point, isn't it, for a house? Making all sorts of mistakes with the camera today. Two breeding pairs here with their goslings, keeping close together for added protection. Now this must be the old lifeboat station. A lifeboat was first stationed here in 1854. Here in the UK, you often find benches dedicated to people who have passed, in loving memory of Elsie. This rabbit is munching on the grass on somebody's lawn. Now what has this rabbit seen? Oh my lord, the murder of an innocent crab. Must be lovely being on the water when it's so calm. Too early in the day to go in there. And just down here we have the new lifeboat station. Meanwhile, the geese have changed to a V formation with the goslings inside. Our lifeboats are all manned by volunteers, and they need our donations to keep them going. That's a bad sign. Midges up ahead, I think. Midges everywhere, aren't there?
Yeah. Well, that warm weather's bringing them out.
Everybody's getting bitten. Well, we fought our way through the midges and reached the beach just beyond the lifeboat station, where there's some little cottages right next to the sea. It's quite a nice little spot to sit and gather your thoughts. Small island here, very close to the beach, and home for many seabirds. Looks like they've just been and collected some supplies. This one looks particularly sleek and modern. This statue is in memory of RNLI coxswain Dick Evans. He's one of only a few people to have been awarded 2 Royal National Lifeboat Institution gold medals for gallantry. There's also a memorial here to the sinking of the steam clipper, the Royal Charter, which sank on the 26th of October 1859. It is thought that only 40 of 480 passengers survived when the vessel crashed upon the rocks. We don't like being eaten alive, so it's only a short walk this morning, but good enough.
Enjoy your walk.
It was beautiful, thank you very much. Right, quick clean of the mirrors and we're off. When the road gets steep and there's any chance you might have to stop, it's always worth dropping it down into first gear and just driving slowly. That way you'll always have maximum torque if needed, and there's never any rush. This road leads down to a place called Red Wharf Bay, where there's a couple of pubs. So we're thinking of spending the afternoon here. There's a sign in the car park saying no camper vans or motorhomes, but surely that can't apply during the day. These look the business. Thank you very much. Been well spoilt this morning.
Well, this is breakfast and lunch all in one.
All right, okie dokie.
Busier than when we arrived.
Yeah, we're getting out of this place. All of a sudden, there's been a huge influx of people, and I think actually they're all for the restaurants in the pubs. So that probably explains why there's no motorhomes or camper vans allowed. Getting used to these little lanes now, aren't we, Charlie?
Yeah, not so bad. At least there's not much traffic on them. Which helps.
No. So Stephen must have come down here in his big old truck.
It's taller.
We're trying to find the place where Stephen from Country Van Life TV spent his first few nights. The road emerges onto this little beach, sandy car park, but you have to beware because the sand is quite soft as you enter. We spent a very relaxing afternoon here. Carol did some sunbathing, I did some editing, and I also managed a couple of drone flights. The tide goes out for a great distance here. It's very shallow and lots of little tributaries running into the sea. And there we can see the great expanse of Red Wharf Bay. We saw quite a few people walking out onto the sands, so I assume as long as you know what you're doing and you don't get yourself cut off, it's quite safe to do so. Council workmen are busy emptying the bins. Time to bring the drone back and do a bit more editing, I think. Not many of us left here now, just us really, and the big yellow bus that was with us last night at the last park up. We're not going to actually stay here on the beach because there's another higher tide tonight, about 1:40 in the morning, and we have no idea how far the tide will come in. So we're going to wait here a little bit longer till it gets dark, and then we'll be relocating over there and spending the night there where it's nice and safe, and then we'll probably get up quite early in the morning and get out of there because I don't think we're really supposed to be parking here at all. Okay, all ready to move off?
Do you know where we're going?
Yeah. Take over the filming. can't stop on sand.
No, no.
Now my advice is always scout out your parking spots in daylight so that you can see where the problems might be. I didn't bother to do this because I had actually watched the film from Stephen, so I had a good idea of what this place is actually like. Right, Charlie? We'll try it, can't we? See how we get on. If you enjoyed our video, then please give us a like and hit that subscribe button for more adventures from the Little Red Camper.